Welcome into another new episode of Tribal Council Chat. As always, we are your hosts. My name is Bruce Heller.
And my name's Brooke Parnell.
And let's dive in.
Let's
Episode
dive
6
in.
of Survivor 49. And I realized while watching this that we haven't been doing this for a while, maybe
I
most of
think I
last
thought of
season.
the same thing.
Are you thinking player of the episode?
Yeah,
I thought of that during the episode. I'm like, wait, we haven't been doing that this season and probably most of last season.
probably not, but we can always start it.
Yeah, so who you got?
This week, player of the episode, I've got Sage.
It has to be.
Yeah,
Even
there's
though
no
they sent
question
someone
that
home that I like, she had an amazing episode.
she was able to play that move perfectly, playing both sides, and she knew the whole time what she was going to do, but the person who went home had no idea.
Which is kind of crazy, but
Yeah,
because we as an audience, unfortunately for me, all knew she was going home at that point.
yeah.
How she didn't, I have no idea. But yeah, so diving into the episode recap, we see Jawan talking about how if his tribe goes back to another tribal, they need to look at Sophie because she isn't original Uli. And I wrote down, he has no idea that if his tribe goes back to tribal, he's gone next.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Which he absolutely would have been if that tribe had gone
Yeah,
back. And
no
then we see
question.
a confessional from Savannah where she confirms that Jawan is next if they go back.
And I think Sophie has worked her way into this Grotto tribe well enough that she probably doesn't even go if they go twice.
Yeah, and she's described these three that she's working with as her top three now.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what that says for her and Alex when they come back together at Merge, but
Cool.
we'll see.
But I mean, if that's smart if you're Sophie, because you have no idea what Alex is doing on that other beach. And if Alex has done the same thing that she has and worked his way into a new alliance, you can't count on coming back with him and that he's going to want to keep you around.
Yeah, agreed.
He might have enough. He might, just like it seems like Sophie has a final three with Savannah and Rizo. Alex could easily have a final three that none of them know about.
Yeah. So we go into a reward challenge. We have a reward challenge this episode that's specifically just reward.
Yeah, we do. Something we don't see often that much in Survivor anymore.
And we learn that it's another swap. So this is our first new era season that has two swaps.
It is. And then we'll get into the swap in a second, but we also learn for Sophie with an E, those carbohydrates in this reward.
There is. Do you want to share what the reward is?
The reward was for grilled cheese sandwiches, which has carbohydrates, chips, iced tea, and brownies, which has sugar and carbohydrates.
Yes. And so we're swapping from two tribes back into three tribes.
We are.
And we have
is this
people, which means we have three tribes of four, which is a really weird number.
Is this Survivor Cambodia all over again?
Do what?
Survivor Cambodia.
Sort of. They went from 2 to 3 back to 2. This is the inverse.
Yeah, it's the complete inverse. But when have we had two swaps in a season since then?
Game Changers had like a million.
True. But not common.
No. Trying to think. I feel like
I really like this because even though some people would say, oh, they felt it was time to merge, we've got so used to having no swaps in the new era that the fact that this is happening really does, as Jeff has said many times, keep the players on their toes because we don't know if one season is not always going to be the same as another season.
Yeah, Ghost
And I
Island also had 2 swaps, by the way.
and I
But
think the fact that they put 2 swaps into a new era season is gonna make players on 50 have to sit there and go, anything could happen. We can't just run the playbook of in the new era, this is day 2, this is day 4, this is day 6, this is day 10.
yeah, and I've seen people saying the tribes of 4 were too small. I'm fine with it, honestly.
Oh, yeah. Also, something I wrote down.
Yeah, Ghost Island was the most recent with 2 switches. I just
Nice.
went season by season on Wikipedia.
Actually, never mind. Not something I wrote down. I'm going to get to this in tribal.
Okay.
I'll hold it for now.
So our new tribes on Kella, we have Steven, Shannon, Sage, and Jawan.
Yep.
On Hina, we have Rizzo, Savannah, Sophie with Noe, and MC. And on Uli, we
I
have,
mean, I'm just going to say I really like both Sophies in this season, but can one of them get voted out just for the purpose of making podcasting easier?
well, one of them I think I like, but this is the first episode that I actually remember hearing from her. We've heard like nothing from her so far.
Fair.
Like
That's
I know
because
we've heard from her a little bit, but it wasn't memorable enough for me to like point out, hey, here was that.
she voted.
And then
And breaking news in the middle of us podcasting, in case you didn't know this, Otani is going to pitch Game 7 tonight.
shocker.
Yeah.
And on
it
New
just came
Uli,
up on my phone.
we have Christina, Sophie with an E, MC, and Savannah. No, that's New Hina, sorry. New Uli is Christina, Alex, Nate, and Sophie with an E.
Yeah.
And so yeah. And like we heard from her more this time, even though she didn't go to tribal. But that's Sophie. We've heard like nothing from for some reason.
I think it's just that she hasn't been making any gameplay, really.
True. So we go into the challenge, the reward challenge, and
I feel like there's a lot of people from that original Yellow tribe that we know little about.
Yeah. The way the challenge works is we're pushing a heavy cart along a bumpy track, and you're collecting sandbags along the way, and then you're using them to knock off wooden discs. And then further down, you knock down more wooden discs, and then you use those as like frisbees to knock the bamboo thingies off the table thingy.
That was fun.
It was. And it didn't end with a puzzle, so we have a little bit of variety.
I think that was new from production, that we had some sort of frisbee element of a survival challenge.
I love it. Hina wins, Uli second, so we're back to 3 tribes, and Kella sucks again, I guess. I don't know. And so coming out of the challenge, we go to Hina, and MC's realizing she's in trouble as the other 3 have all been bonding already.
Yeah. And compared with, say, Jawan, this is just brilliant game knowledge from MC, is to be able to recognize that Sophie is in with Rizzo and Savannah.
Yeah.
There's not much she can do about it other than try to find something, but the fact that she's aware of not just saying, oh, Sophie wasn't on the original tribe with those 2, I can make this a 2-2 and be overly confident, is very smart.
Yeah. And also, not only is she outnumbered, MC also knows that because of the Beware, she doesn't have a vote right now, and the others don't know that.
Yeah.
And also, Rizzo doesn't know at this point that MC knows he has an idol, and then the next scene is she goes and tells him that, and says, hey, Sage told us all this. Which is kind of, I think.
Do you want to repeat what you were saying, Bruce?
Sage lost trust with Rizzo there.
Do you want to repeat what your comment was about, Bruce? You just froze for like 3 seconds.
MC telling Rizzo that she knows about his advantage because Sage
Yeah,
told them all.
yeah, very smart.
I think she not only did she build trust with Rizzo, I think Sage lost some there
Yeah, absolutely.
because he seemed not very happy about that in confessional.
That is very true. We will see what impact this has once we get to a merge camp in the next episode or two.
Yeah. And so we go to Uli and we see Nate kind of bond. Oh gosh, knocked my table over for a second, or bumped it when I was switching positions. And we see Nate opening up about his family and being honest about how Matt was an easy vote, wanting to build trust. And he's establishing himself as this honest narrator. But then also that he follows that up with a lie that he wanted to work with Jason and was going to vote with him to try to make. I don't really know the purpose of that, but they catch on really quickly. They see right through what he's doing,
Yeah, absolutely.
which is interesting. So, what are your thoughts from Nate in this sequence?
Um, I I'm just gonna have to look at just 1 second. I just want to see where they all are in the game. I think Nate's in an interesting spot. This is kind of where new Uli, and by new Uli, I mean like really new Uli that's now back in the game, um, is really the one tribe here that I think kind of anything could happen.
Yeah.
And they're in a spot where it's like you have Nate and Jawan who are close. Either of them could try to get Alex or Christina over, but they both never played together. They played together on New Kelly for 3 days, but everything is so quick now.
Yeah. And so going back to Kella, we have a bit of chicken pandemonium here. The chickens somehow escaped and need to be corralled, and we're chasing them around camp. And this
Yep.
scene is just incredible.
Why is it that every time there's chickens, they find a way to escape?
I don't know. They come in a cage.
Yeah. And Ty is not on this season.
Or Wendy.
Yeah.
But no, chasing the chickens around camp was hilarious to watch.
Exactly.
And we see here, Steven realizes he's on a tribe of 3 Ulis and 1 Hina, and he thinks he's the odd one out. He doesn't know how much Sage doesn't like Shannon. So,
But I'm going to repeat with this chicken scene, as I often say with chickens. Guys, count. You're almost near the merge. Just eat them all.
yeah, but you can keep getting more throughout the game if you keep them long enough.
The game is 26 days.
Yeah, that's a long time to not eat. You say that because it's shorter than it used to be, but when you're doing it, it's probably not that big of a difference food wise.
I'm
Like,
going to be honest. If I was could be the dictator of a tribe and we won 4 chickens, we'd be having half chicken dinners before the next immunity challenge.
See, that's just not smart, though.
I don't agree. I think it's very smart. You're about to merge where you're going to have to share them with everybody else.
Yeah, but even if you're sharing, you're getting some of it. You're getting eggs for 26 days as opposed to a ton of chicken for 2 days. Then you're starving again.
You'll still live.
Also, why did they kill the rooster first when they got the chickens? Don't you kind of need the rooster to, like, do the business of creating the eggs?
It sounds like you're an expert in chicken sexual education here.
I'm not, but I feel like creating eggs requires a male and a female.
I feel like, from what I've heard from most contestants in this show, creating eggs come out so tiny in the conditions that they're in that it's not worth it.
Well, that's fair. I honestly
That's it.
did not
It's
expect to be
exactly
talking
going
about
back
this.
to my point.
I did not expect to be talking about chickens making babies when we started recording, but here we are.
But this is why I feel, going back to what I just said, that I don't think it's that worth your time. Is that what? Is a tribe of people going to share one egg? That's like half a bite of egg.
No, you take it out of the cage when everyone else is asleep.
Okay. And then get your ass voted out.
Well, don't get caught. I don't know. That's not something I would do. That's just a solution.
That's what Taylor would do.
But
To make a millennials versus Gen X reference.
oh, I forgot who you were talking about for a second.
I had to clarify. I'm like, I hope he doesn't think that I mean the most famous woman in the world.
No, I knew you didn't. That's why I had to think about it for a second. But that does make me think of your response to him in our first trivia
Yeah,
episode, and
that's where I was coming from.
So, back to Kella. Chicken science, chicken eggs, chicken sex aside. But, oh my gosh, I just said that. Oh well. But we see Joanne and Steven bonding a bit. Or at least
yes, we do.
At least that's what they want us to think until the next confessional when Joanne tells Shannon that he wants to remain Uli strong and is hanging out with Steven but didn't want that to spook her.
But is that necessarily true?
I think so, because when Sage originally comes to Joanne with the Shannon plan, he's extremely hesitant. He wants to keep their group together.
Fair.
And so, going back to Uli Camp, Sophie S, with an E on the end of her name, is frustrated with Christina using her as a decoy and says she's expendable to Christina. And we've seen none of this.
We have seen none of this. You're right. But the one thing I'll repeat over and over and over again, it doesn't matter if it's Survivor, Big Brother, The Challenge. You do not want to be used as a decoy because those people go home when they can't make a decision.
Yeah.
So I don't blame her if that's the opinion she's getting from being a bit ticked about it.
Yeah, no, I don't blame her at all. I just wish we had seen some more of this and seen kind of some of this frustration between them
Yeah.
instead of just being told about it now. But we also see Sophie talking about how she wants to connect with Alex, that his closest person is the other Sophie, and she wants to be his new Sophie. Which kind of made me laugh for some reason. But
yeah,
it's going to be really fun if we get an alliance with Alex and both of them together as a three.
Yeah, that will be.
That's not going to get confusing.
No, not at all. That being said, I just don't see it happening. I don't know. Who knows? But my take is that I think the Sophie and Alex relationship is pretty much over.
Which one?
Sophie without the E.
Okay.
I think that original Kelly. I think that original Kelly alliance was out of necessity. I think a gameplay alliance that Sophie without an E is having is with Savannah and Rizo.
That could also be out of necessity, though. Like, it'll be interesting to see when
it's not choice of ever. It's not really out of necessity, though, because they could get rid of her anytime they want.
It's necessity for her, though, to stay
alive. But it's not necessity for Savannah to want to pick Sophie over Joanne, other than that Joanne keeps stealing her stuff.
Yeah. I just think it'll be interesting to see where Sophie, without the E, goes when she has her full choice of everyone. And is it a small tribe where you have to make specific choices to survive?
I'm gonna bet it's gonna be with Savannah and Rizzo, but we'll see.
I could see it going either way. So we go back to Kella, and not Sage, Shannon wants to connect with Sage, and they're walking on the beach, and Shannon tells Sage how close she feels to her, and once finally, like, they have an opportunity to get to work together. And she
Yeah,
just has no idea that Sage just can't stand her for some reason.
no idea.
I don't know, like, this is wild levels of
I
not being
enjoyed
self-aware.
Shannon in this game. She was on my fantasy team, but her knowledge of what was going on was lacking.
I know. I like
Rob,
her, and I'm
what did you
sad to
not?
see her
Where
go at
did
the
we
end of
miss
this
out?
episode. She's a fun follow online,
Yeah,
but good lord, like Russell Hantz levels of not being self-aware here.
yeah,
Maybe worse, because I think he kind of knew he was hated and just didn't care.
yeah. That's a good point.
Get him on
I
the
don't.
Traitors though,
That would be hilarious.
or Big Brother. Honestly,
Yeah,
no, that'd be terrible. I don't want to watch him for that long, but
no, but yeah,
they'd
the
send him
traitors would
home
be
so
really
early.
fun. And I think that I almost wonder if you put Russell on the traitors, could he actually maybe make a run in the game? Because everybody would be like, "There's no way that Alan would make Russell a traitor. It's too obvious."
I think the funnier move would be him as a faithful
Yeah, that's
because
my point.
everyone would expect him to be a traitor, and I think he'd
Exactly.
be a terrible faithful.
He would be, but if I was a faithful, I would want to leave him around because I would assume he's a faithful.
But the thing is they should have had him on last season and had him and Rob in the same traitors turret and force them to be teammates.
Yeah,
That's the move.
that would be funny. Maybe he can play season 5 and then they can play All Stars together down the road.
Gosh, that'd be fantastic television with
Yeah.
hmm. Back to Survivor
Imagine if it
now.
was All Stars and you have the traders, Rob, Russell, and Pagudi all in one season.
Yeah. And if you
Like,
really
just the
want
villains
chaos,
tribe.
if you really want to like just have chaos and turmoil, have the Traitors turret for All Stars be Rob, Russell, and Danielle.
Yeah.
None of the three of them are gonna get along on anything.
Yeah. That would be funny.
But back to Survivor, we go to Hina, and this is a note I had here because it was funny. Rizzo gives us a confessional with a snorkel in his mouth and is like trying to talk through the snorkel.
Oh, that was great. I was screaming at the TV here. Rizzo, one of the first thing, and I mean, I get it. He's spearfishing. He's not scuba diving. But Rizzo failed his scuba diving class before he got in the water with this scene. One of the first things you learn when you do scuba diving is put your fins on in the water, not walking down the beach with them on.
Yeah, but walking down the beach looks way funnier.
I know, but that's why he couldn't barely get in the water because it's your fins. He's going, how do you walk in these? I'm like, they're not meant to be walked in. They're meant to be swam with.
Well, maybe he's not a certified scuba diver like some people.
I would imagine not. Because I can tell when it comes to how people behave in the water, which like one or two contestants are.
Yeah. But now him giving a confessional, talking through a snorkel, and we aren't able to understand him, so they have to put
That's,
subtitles on it, is incredibly inefficient but incredibly funny.
and incredibly on brand for Rizzo.
Like it's so dumb. Like there's no reason to do that. They have to subtitle you, but it's hilarious, so I like it.
Yeah,
We also see on Hina, which is Yellow Beach, everyone looking for an advantage.
they
All
are.
group idol hunting is so prevalent this season.
It is. And also, we have, even though we have a group looking for an advantage, this had to come from the prospect that we all know that Michelle is out looking for an advantage,
Yeah.
who is off on her own, unfortunately. I'm glad that we're merging from this tribe and that they don't vote out anybody because I really like all four of them.
Yeah. Does this mean we're gonna get a normal merge vote since we had the dumb like swap shenanigan thing before the
I
merge?
I was gonna ask you. Jeff has a really interesting thing he says at the swap, and I meant to say this earlier and I missed my note, but I'll say it here. I was going to bring it up at the end, but here works perfect. Did you pick up that Jeff said normally this is where we would do earn the merge, but everybody drop your buffs?
Maybe.
Are we not getting earn the merge for
I
the
hope
first time in
not.
the new era? That would be great.
Yeah.
I think we're not getting it.
Unless they find a way to do something dumber.
It's fair, but who knows? But I think that was Jeff putting not only the players, but the audience on note of don't expect every season to form a continuous line. And earn the merge may happen in 51 and it might not happen in 52, and that's okay.
Which plot twist, instead of earn the merge, we're doing the stupid White Lotus twist from Big Brother, where
Oh,
you're
God.
eliminated by a challenge for some reason without a chance to like get voted out or save yourself.
I mean, there might be some people that wouldn't be horrible on every season, but
On a show like The Challenge, where it's based on the physical, I'm okay with the White Lotus
yeah,
thing. On a show centered around voting and trying to save yourself, it was stupid.
yeah, but it was also stupid just that not everybody got a chance to play. It wasn't like whoever did it the slowest went out. It was just the first person to miss with different rules for every player on the White Locust thing.
White Locust,
Whereas, like,
you're right.
yeah, but I'm saying when somebody gets purged in the challenge, they're last and they went home.
Yeah.
It's not the same as oh, the first person to do it gets 6 minutes, and then Rachel gets 3 and goes home. But if Rachel was successful, the next person gets 2, so they're almost doomed to fail.
I don't so much mind the everyone didn't get a chance to. I just don't like going home without a vote or a chance at veto.
So I
But
just felt that all of the rules, like the fact that every player had a different time limit, was a little odd.
yeah,
Whereas in the challenge, it's like we're all on equal footing, and if you're last, you go home. Okay, that's fair. That's what part of the show.
luckily there's a 0% chance Survivor is doing the White Locust or whatever you want to call that twist.
There's a 0% chance they're doing anything named the White Locust because they might have to pay somebody that's on the next season.
I feel like that might be how they did it on Big Brother. That might have been part
Yeah,
of
I think
getting him
so.
to come on 50, probably.
Probably. But I do not feel that it's totally out of the realm of possibility that Survivor could do something more, maybe not like that, but maybe more like the challenge of do an endurance challenge and be like first one out goes home.
I don't think Survivor will ever send someone home based off of a challenge.
Mm. You never know, but you're probably right.
I
But I
think
just
the
don't.
closest
I don't
we'll
think it's
ever
likely. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility.
I think the closest we'll ever get to the White Locust or whatever they called it on Rudolph's Reindeer Games was what we got in the early new era, which was the stupid do or die dice thing.
Yeah, that was
Which
bizarre.
didn't never ended up sending anyone home, but the fan outrage if someone went home based off of that would have been awful.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So, and that's kind of I don't know if it was you or Kevin or Kyle or someone. That's what I compared the White Locust to was do or die. And like this is
It was
like
probably
that.
Kevin because that's the first time I'm hearing this, but I completely agree.
But yeah, so we're still at Hina, back on topic. We're looking for advantages. And Sophie B, Kyle's pick, she finds a knowledge is power. Knowledge is power is back.
She does. Knowledge's power is back. Which is interesting considering that she's on a tribe with someone that now pretty much everyone knows has an idol. If not, they will very soon. But I don't think she's going to want to use it against that person who seems to be tied for her number one.
Agreed.
But if it gets out there that Russo has an idol, the presence of other idols could start getting out there on Emerge Beach too.
If MC finds the idol to go with her beware, that could get interesting.
Yeah.
But like you said, maybe Earn the Merch is on a season, maybe it's not. We don't know going forward.
We will know next
Knowledge
week.
is power has been a great example of that concept because there's always a thread of it there, even if it's not on the season.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So,
and even if it's not valid to be played at this time, it still can hold some power, as we saw Pabudi just do.
Yeah.
That was brilliant from her.
And we see with knowledge is power, Sophie decides not to tell Savannah and Rizo, which is smart. You shouldn't tell people when you find idols and advantages, but everyone always does for some reason.
Yeah.
And so we go to the immunity challenge. Do you want to explain how this works?
Let me just go. You go ahead if you have anything. I didn't take notes on the challenge itself.
I didn't either. That I wrote down halfway through, have Brett explain the challenge because I forgot. I normally do it while he's explaining it.
I'll focus on that next time. But oh well.
That's fine. I just forgot. Let me pull it up on Wikipedia.
I think I was in the bathroom.
So the tribes raced up and over a hinged cargo net and then moved a pile of heavy sandbags, stacking them onto a platform. And one player then climbed up on top of that pile to retrieve a bag of sticks and string. And it's the classic, like, tie these together to make a long pole.
Yeah, I was definitely in the bathroom for that first half.
Do what?
I was definitely in the bathroom for the first half of this challenge. That's why I missed it.
And when you retrieve that key, it releases a ball, which is used by two players to maneuver through the like classic tilt table maze. It's like operated by rope handles.
So the Ozzy and Christine Redemption Island challenge.
Maybe I don't remember off the top of my head.
That's what I always call this one.
We've seen it a ton though. I want to say it was on like Dave. Like, we've seen it recently a bunch too. It's like this one.
Yeah.
But
the one where, like I'm saying, Ozzy tried to get himself voted out so he could take on a 50-year-old lady in this challenge.
Sending himself to Redemption Island was honestly not a dumb move by him.
No, not at all. It was smart from his perspective.
Yeah, there's not a ton of those, strategically speaking, but good move, Ozzy.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get some good moves from him this season. Who knows?
I'm guessing we're going to get the same person we've gotten 4 times already.
Probably.
Yeah, 4.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And so, Hina wins and Uli second once again.
Yeah.
The recording. And so we go back to Kella, who's going to have to go to Tribal. And Shannon tells us it makes more sense for her to work with Steven than Jawan. And she says Jawan offers her no new connections that she doesn't already have. Which is kind of an interesting thought here.
Yeah. It is true. Like I said, this is one tribe that could kind of go anywhere.
Yeah. As soon as they lost, my just the way the episode's been edited, my thought was, I hope I'm wrong, but Shannon's gone. Like,
yeah, there was no question with this group that Shannon was going.
And we see Shannon talking strategy with Sage on the beach, pitching Jawan. And I wrote down, I bet Sage is going to try and target her instead.
Yeah.
And then we find out immediately that I was right. This is Sage's plan. And
I
like,
don't think they really ever got along on original Uli all that well either.
yeah, but apparently Shannon thought they did. I don't.
I My thought is that Shannon just assumed that it was going to be along tribal lines once they left that tribe
Yeah,
and didn't really get that concept of the game out. But like, let's say that we didn't have any swaps in this season. I still think Shannon is one in this game. Sage is probably in trouble, but Shannon would be in that group with Savannah and Rizo, maybe instead of Sophi, because she'd be voted out by then because she would have had her tribe lose 6 challenges in a row.
yeah. But we also like with Shannon, not Shannon, Sage playing nice, pretending to go with Shannon. Got this great GIF that's been circulating online of like the scene where I don't know if Shannon's like doing a duck face or like kisses, but like doing this, and like Sage pretends to do it back, then immediately looks like she wants to throw up on her face. Have you seen this?
No, that's funny though.
It's so. If I find the GIF, I'll send it to you.
Sounds good.
But it's yeah, she's playing it up well. And this is what I wrote down. Sage approached Jawan about wanting to take out Shannon, but he doesn't want to turn on Uli yet.
Yep.
Or he's hesitant. So, do you have anything else before we go to tribal?
No, but I do have something to say in tribal.
What you got?
What I got in tribal. We you brought up earlier that we switched into 3 tribes of 4.
Yeah.
Jeff, we can vote with 4 people. It works.
Oh gosh.
See? What was wrong with what just happened this week? Nothing. Shannon goes out because everyone wants her gone. If she had one ally, we would have naturally went to fire, and that would have been great too.
I still prefer the vote, but as I don't want to be a broken record. I understand Probst's reasoning for fire, that it gives the people who are clearly the biggest threat to win and would go home easily. It gives them one last chance.
Yeah, but then they just go home one earlier.
Yeah, that's the problem with it, but I understand where he was coming from a little bit. My note from Tribal is after the vote. We have seen people be salty and not want to like hug or say goodbye to the person that voted them out.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen someone be petty enough to not like give a goodbye hug to the person that you just blindsided. Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, exactly.
On one hand, I kind of respect the realness of like not wanting to lie or be fake, but it just feels so dang petty to me.
I agree.
I don't think I like it, but I've seen a lot of people praising that online. So, yeah. And part of me liking Shannon is kind of the journey I've seen her go through online after the show, but it's she was a fun character on the show as well. So it's sad to see someone go that provided good TV, but this was a fun episode.
It was.
So, do you want to start a line blindside first boot, or should I?
Sure, I'll go ahead. This week, I'm going to give you Sierra Easton,
Oh boy.
Jen Brown, and Victoria Beaumont.
Okay, what is there a theme here?
Not really, just random.
Okay. Because sometimes you'll give me what seems like 3 really random names and there's a secret theme.
No.
But I'm going to.
It was kind of an episode that was so obvious that what was going to happen that I'm like, I can't think of a theme to do with this.
Yeah. I'm going to first boot Sierra. I love her, but she's unpredictable in a game. Like she's one of the people that's credited with ushering in this era of big moves and shock factor tribal moves. I can't let her get footing. I'm I'm gonna blindside Victoria and align with Jen, just
Nice.
because I think I have a much better shot to win that way.
Nice. I would agree that's probably the best shot to win. I'm going to flip that, though, on your last two, align with Victoria and blindside Jen, only because I think Jen is a bit more of an unpredictable ally in terms of trying to get to the end with.
Yeah.
Victoria, I think, would be a harder player to beat, but an easier player to make sure you get to final three. I agree with you on Sierra completely, so that's my pick.
Nice.
Oh, mostly only because we saw Jen at 1.1 quit.
Yeah. You mentioned it was hard to think of a clever theme because it was obvious who was getting voted out this episode, right?
Yeah.
So your theme is not clever, but it's people that have gotten voted out,
That works.
which, as you know, gives me hundreds upon hundreds of names to choose from.
It does not give you the name Michelle Fitzgerald.
No, that's for trivia, which you then got revenge on me for. But oh well.
Yes.
You have from the season of interesting personalities and storylines and no strategy, our resident Bond villain, Ace Gordon. You have Taylor from Millennials versus Gen X, since we talked about him this episode. And I will give you, what's his name? I need to look at it. Jason from Samoa.
Nice.
People that got voted out.
I'm going to align with Jason. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead.
That's kind of the only option, honestly.
Yeah, he'd be a good ally. I'm going to blindside Taylor. He would be someone that I think you could easily blindside, but also that would probably be pretty chill as a juror. And that leaves me to first boot Ace and his fake British accent.
I want to see Ace as a juror, though, and just see how like dumb or quirky his question would be. There's no way that guy asks an average, normal jury question, right?
That's a good point. You're very true.
So I think I'll first boot Taylor so he doesn't take our food, and then blindside Ace.
Nice.
Gosh, Gabon is such a beautiful train wreck.
Yes, it is.
It's such a quirky season. Imagine that being the first season of the show someone sees.
Australia would have had to be amazing.
Or votes make sense.
Oh, sorry, first season that someone sees. Yeah, that would be hilarious. I thought you meant as if that was the first season of the show.
No, the show wouldn't have gotten a second season. But
well, they might have already had the contract to film Australia. But
no, like if you haven't seen Survivor before, and the first season you watch is one where you have no strategy decisions make sense. A lot of the votes are dumb. And then you get the final tribal and Corinne does what she does. You've got to just be so confused.
Yeah. That's for sure.
That is such a bizarre season, and I love how weird it is. Well, with all this being said, everyone check out Pit Stop Pals. Roundtable Talk is finally back. Traders Canada. The website for it was better for me this week than it was last week.
I may need to watch that tonight.
I watched it this morning.
Okay. Good.
And
I watched 20 minutes of it and then got stuck going back to work.
Do what?
I watched 20 minutes of it and then realized my lunch break was almost over.
Nice. But Pit Stop Pals Amazing Race 38 is going strong. And check out the Redbubble merch store. And with all that, new generation challengers too. Almost forgot about that.
And one other thing, let's go Blue Jays.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say Blues, but Blue Jays makes more sense.
It is Game 7 of the World Series, 5 hours after we finish this podcast.
I again want to point out that tonight the Canadian on the show will be watching baseball and the American's going to be watching hockey.
The American isn't watching Game 7 of the World Series?
No, my favorite hockey team is playing.
Okay. I should. You know what makes that story even funnier? Not only that we're watching each other's national sports, but that the Canadian who's a Boston fan is cheering for the Canadian baseball team this time.
You cheering for like it's a divisional rival, but because it's the only Canadian team doesn't phase me at all.
But also, you do realize that pretty much all Boston fans and all Yankee fans are cheering for Toronto because of this team called the LA Dodgers.
Everyone that's not a Dodgers fan is cheering
Yeah,
for them.
exactly.
The Yankee fans have no reason to complain about the Dodgers though. All your '90s and early 2000s championships are because Steinbrenner used to operate the same way the Dodgers do now.
Yep.
That's why my dad doesn't like the Yankees because he says a lot of their championships were just bought.
That's why I never liked them growing up.
Which, to be fair, spending money doesn't guarantee you win. The Mets had the highest payroll in the league this year and missed the playoffs because they're incompetent. But
yeah, that's why I never liked the Yankees growing up. And then somebody on Survivor All Stars decided to wear a Red Sox hat, and I'm like, that's my team.
I liked the Yankees a little bit growing up because I liked Jeter and I liked Teixeira. And Mariano Rivera was cool. But
yeah. Amazing pitcher.
Yeah. So, but yeah, go Blue Jays. And for the game I'll be watching, go Blues. And I still think it's funny that like Canada's the hockey country, but I'm the one that's watching. I will say I don't think baseball is the national sport anymore. Popularity, I think football passed it.
Oh yeah.
Nickname wise, it still works.
Yeah.
With that being said, everyone grab your torches and head back to camp.
Good night.